Alright guys, so here we are with the DC Multiverses, one of their newest releases, the Joker from the Batman the White Knight run that was written by Sean Murphy. It is just mind-boggling. I literally just finished it right before I did this review because I wanted to be up to date. I really hadn't, I'd heard of it, I knew the concept of it, you know, Joker's a good guy, Batman's a villain, but it goes a lot deeper than that, man. It is a very heavy read. It is a great read. And I don't want to give too much away in this review, so all I'm going to say right now, go read it. It is absolutely amazing. I am really excited to read the sequel run that's coming out, or has already come out, The Curse of the White Knight, and I am going to start reading that tonight. But before we do this review, and before we start talking about this figure, let's talk about the giveaway I am doing. So I'm giving away 2 DC Multiverse figures for free. All you have to do is follow 4 steps that I listed on the Instagram post, which will be linked below in the description. You have to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You have to like that post, follow my Instagram, and comment done on that post when you have done all the above. Very simple, very easy, and you can start right now by subscribing. The winner will be announced Friday, July 24th. So here we have the typical DC Multiverse packaging. Very nice design, pretty big box. McFarlane toys at the very top there, 22 points of articulation or moving parts. The Joker there on the bottom, trademarked. And like I said, I really like that backdrop in the background. You can see all those classic DC comics. The side you can see pretty much the same art we've already seen. On this side it says Batman, the Joker, Batman White Knight. I like that they added that. The McFarlane toys again on the bottom. And here you get a nice picture of Jack Napier, who is wearing his Gotham Terrorist Depression Unit vest. Very cool. You can see the little cannon on the bottom there, which is a pretty important part of the story. Sorry if you just heard my dog bark. And then a picture of Bruce Wayne behind him. And you can see other figures in the wave. They're little pictures of like their cards that they come with, which we are going to talk about right now. So here we have this little card, which is the same picture we see on the box. You can see the Joker, Batman White Knight. You have a moon there and a bat symbol there. Very cool. The Joker, Batman White Knight data file. Source, Batman White Knight number 8, comics 2017. Real name is Jack Napier. I hope I'm saying that right. I believe I am. 6'3", 173 pounds. Once the Clown Prince of Crime, wait, I hope you guys can read that. Once the Clown Prince of Crime and Batman's greatest supervillain, the Joker has been cured of his madness. Now going by the name of Jack Napier, has been released from Arkham Asylum and has set his sights on politics, with hopes to save Gotham City from the one person he sees as its true enemy, Batman. So for the first accessory, we get a little DC stand here. You can see a little DC symbol, very nice. And then we get the head of Jack Napier himself, which has 2 different eye colors, one representing Jack, the other representing the Joker. And it's a very creepy looking grin. It very much resembles Sean Murphy's art, just 100%. It looks like it just jumped off the comic book page. They did a very nice sculpt, very nice paint work. Easily just incredible. I really love this head sculpt. So here we have the second head sculpt. Very beautiful looking. I love the smudging of the red paint. Spoiler alert here, before we go forward, you might want to click away because I'm going to be talking about the story and some details I noticed with this outfit that really pop from the story, and it might spoil some things, but I won't be spoiling the ending, obviously. So basically, when he turns into the Joker, his lips kind of get this smudgy paint because he kind of coughs up like a blood or something, some nasty stuff. So I like that smudging look. It's drawn straight from the art. And again, McFarlane nails his head sculpt because it literally looks like it's just coming straight from the frickin' book, man. It's so great. I love the fact they did dual colors with the eyes in this head sculpt as well. The teeth are very nicely done too. They even painted the gums around the little white teeth. Very good. Nice pink tongue there. You can see black in front of the tongue and then a little part of the teeth there on the bottom. Great eyebrows there that are just looking crazy. Very pointy nose like the other head we get. And I love the green hair on this. It's sculpted very nicely, very clean. Nice soft plastic so it doesn't feel like it's going to break at all or anything. Overall, this head sculpt is really, really clean. And I love the hair, man. I love that dark wash in the green. Very vibrant and it looks fantastic. And then lastly, we get this super long revolver, which is just awesome, dude. I love how this looks. The paintwork on it is really nice. I love how they painted the handle of it. I love the metallics on it. The sculpt work is great. Very cool accessory. So here is the Joker head sculpt on him, looks very nice. And then here is the Jack Napier head sculpt on him, which also looks fantastic. And then lastly, his gun fits in this trigger hand really, really well. Finger slides right into the trigger, you can see that fits great. And what I like to do, or I think looks kind of cool, but, I don't know if I like to do it, but it works and looks kind of cool, is, so since McFarlane has this ball joint articulation, you can kind of manipulate which the direction the hand is pointing. So sometimes I just kind of point it like this and have his hand kind of sit on the revolver like that, and that just looks kind of funky. I dig that. It's a little bit goofy, and it reminds me of something the Joker would do. I like how that looks a lot. Otherwise, if you want to put this gun in the other hand, I have attempted to do it. It stays in for the most part, but I definitely don't think it looks as nice personally. I think it looks it's kind of a mess. It feels kind of crammed in there. I mean, it looks kind of cool, but the way this middle finger is bent, I personally feel like it doesn't belong in that hand. I like it a lot better in that trigger finger hand. And what I like about this other hand they give us too, which they haven't really done this with all the other figures, is it's like just a resting hand. It can sit at his side and it doesn't look stupid, man. It looks just natural and chill. And I like that. It'd be nice if more figures included just relaxed hands. So that looks very nice. And then for the Joker's last accessory, you can just take the stand, pop it right in the peg there, and it fits in there very nicely, and it will stand him up. Okay, so just taking a look at this figure in general, he is really great. As I said before, he really just looks like he hopped out of that comic, man. It looks like he came straight out of the story. They nailed it. It is probably the best DC Multiverse figure I have seen so far. I have not picked up the Batman that he was released alongside, but I do have him on the way from Big Bad Toy Store. So hopefully he comes in the mail soon and I can pop up a review of him as well. But as of now, I own all the other figures except for the animated series figures. He is my favorite. I love this figure, man. So much fun to mess around with. As I said multiple times, looks exactly like the comic book. So basically right now he's in the outfit of the Gotham Terrorist Oppression Unit. He, spoiler alert, again, uses money from the Batman Devastation Fund, uses Batman tech and whatever to basically get this unit going. And it's basically a squad of people who are really, really well equipped. It's a squad of cops that are well equipped to fight crime, and he helps, all kinds of areas, backport and stuff. It's very cool story, but this hops straight from the comic. I love this vest here, man. The paint on it is just phenomenal. It blows you away. Even the small details like this badge are sculpted great. And keep in mind, this is all a rubber, soft plastic, so it doesn't hinder the articulation. Brilliant. You can see this nice walkie-talkie here. Napier is even sculpted right into that vest there. I'll zoom in. You can see his name is sculpted in right there. How amazing is that? Very, very nice attention to detail. GTO, Gotham Terrorist Oppression Unit. Nice pouches all throughout here. Beautiful metallic zipper that carries through on the vest up to this plastic part of the figure that goes up to the neck. That's very nice. And it even is down here on his abdomen area going towards his pelvis. So that's cool. On the back you can see the walkie-talkie's cord kind of dangles back to this little piece here. All these pouches throughout. Nice lines and details sculpted all throughout this vest. Just, God, that vest is so nice, man. The rest of this suit almost looks like a jumpsuit in the lower half of the body. I really like these lines. The pegs kind of stand out, but I like the fact that they made them green so they don't stand out too much. If you wanted, you could probably get some black lines in there, but that'd be kind of difficult, honestly. Aside from that, the sleeves look really nice as well. I really like how the sleeves are painted. All the colors are consistent. The proportioning on this figure is fantastic. I do feel that the past DC Multiverse figures have had some proportioning issues. I mean, they haven't been horrible, but they've definitely been there. There's definitely been some proportioning issues. This guy has none. It's absolutely incredible what they did with him, man. And these ball joints with this guy, I think actually blend in pretty well. For the most part, I think they work very nicely. I do like these joints simply because they allow you to do quite a few different poses, but with past figures I feel they've kind of stood out and looked kind of odd, but this guy doesn't feel like that. It just fits perfect in my opinion. The gloves are also nice, also painted very well. The boots too are great. Even the bottoms are sculpted and painted just like how they look in the book too. Towards the end there's a scene where Joker's jumping and you can see the bottom of his shoes, and it looks exactly like it. That's just great. They really pay great attention to detail. Another thing I really want to mention, which I briefly mentioned before, is this is all a soft plastic, okay? And so is this pelvic piece. And McFarlane's been doing that with their other figures too, and that is great, man. Because it provides kind of a natural look, in my opinion. It gives it kind of a natural look where it's not really getting in the way of any movement or anything. It looks really nice. So we talked about the figure, we talked about his details, his paintwork is really spot on and fantastic. Let's take a look at his articulation. Okay, so for the articulation of Jack Napier, his head does have some really restricted movement regardless of the Joker or the Jack head you have on. You can only go back about that far, honestly. I can't really get to go back any farther than that without being worried about breaking it. It does look pretty far down as well. It can go all the way around. There is a bit of a neck pivot there. Very nice. The arms go up very far. There is a kind of a butterfly joint in there that's like pocketed into him. There is a rotation here at the bicep, goes all the way around. Double jointed elbows. There's a ball joint at the wrist, so you can have it go in all kinds of different directions. So you can see, you could have it pointing down like that, move it up, rotate, spin. You have it going out all over the place. And you can obviously just rotate it and spin it around. This is another great joint. We saw this with the Batman Who Laughs. It is like I don't even know how to describe it. You can't even see up there, really. You can't really see the articulation that's going on. But it is a rotation. It is kind of a swivel type thing. It's really, really nice how this articulation works. You can go forward with him very far. You can go back with him very far. You can kind of see up there, but I don't want to bend him back too far. You can kind of pivot right to left, which is really cool, dude. I love that articulation. And he can rotate around, so it serves as a rotation as well. I love that articulation, man. I love that. So the legs go out like crazy as well, exposing the different joints he has. They can go forward very far. They can go back very far too, because as I said, this piece here, the pelvic piece, actually doesn't really restrict the movement because it's a soft plastic. However, you do have the articulation exposed there. There is a bit of a swivel at the leg, but not nearly enough, so that's a bummer. Double jointed knees as well that are very flat in the front, look kind of funky, but they work. And I mean, it does kind of expose the articulation as well. Usually McFarlane can be pretty good at hiding articulation, so it's kind of a bummer. But the back part of this is sculpted a little bit, so that's very nice, but these little front pieces are not. Bummer. But there is also a ball joint here at the ankle as well that can go forward and back, and as I said, you can rotate these around, hold that ball, and you can get the foot to go like this, and you can have some extreme ankle pivoting to make, if you want to snap his ankle or whatever, but obviously I don't think anyone's really going to be doing that. Aside from that, there is an ankle pivot, especially with this ball joint like I showed you, and the hinge and a rotation that goes all the way around because of the ball. And then there is a hinge right there at his toes, and I love that. Great articulation on this guy. Joker next to the new Armored Daredevil, and as you can see, they obviously do not scale well together. This is a 7-inch figure, and this is a 6-inch figure. So here's the Joker next to Nightwing and the Batman Who Laughs, and you can see Nightwing is a bit beefy. That's, this figure's his own thing. I have a review on it. I wasn't very happy with it. But he scales well with the Batman Who Laughs. Here he is next to Batman and Barbara Gordon, and as you can see, Barbara Gordon kind of towers both of them. But this Batman is a tad short, I think. Or his head's just too small, but Barbara Gordon definitely could have been a little bit smaller. And here he is next to another one of my favorite DC Multiverse figures, the Superman figure they released, and they scale really, really well together. And then here he is next to the Arkham Asylum Joker and Batman. And I'd say he scales well with Batman. Obviously, you're probably not going to be putting these two Jokers together unless you're doing kind of a fun picture, but I'd say for the most part he scales well with both. This Joker kind of towers him a little bit though, but I think he might be a tad tall. But he works well with this Batman. So I definitely recommend picking this guy up, but before you pick him up, I highly suggest you go and read Sean Murphy's Batman the White Knight if you haven't already. It is such a phenomenal story. It is seriously so refreshing. One of the best Batman stories I've read in a while. So I absolutely loved it. Great character, great version of Joker in general. So I definitely recommend you go pick him up. Heck, even if you haven't read the story, pick him up. He's a great figure. He's easily like a great image of what this line could possibly become. It's a great step forward for the DC Multiverse line, in my opinion. Easily one of the best figures they've released, if not the best. You know, everyone has their own opinion, but in my opinion, this is my favorite figure so far. I love him. Fantastic. And we will see how the Batman, the new Batman coming out, holds up compared to him, and if they go well together. I'm excited to see that. So anyways, guys, make sure you check out my giveaway. Do the first step right now and subscribe. Very easy to get done. And stay tuned for more videos. I'm going to be uploading some more reviews soon. I'm going to be uploading a new video, either Spider-Man Wave in retrospect, so we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, make sure you like this, make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment and tell me what you feel about this figure. If you've read the story, if you loved it, or if you hated it, how you felt about it. I loved it personally, but I'd love to hear other opinions. So make sure you guys comment down below and tell me what you think of this figure and this line of figures in general. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you tune back in soon. Keep collecting. Peace.